Oh, Heidi ho, today we're going to be talking a little bit about your morning routine. What is your morning routine? Well, it ties into the whole habits. You know, those things that we've been talking about like every single week. A routine is a habit. A habit is your life. Remember the equation of life. Your belief system plus your repeated actions plus time equals who you will become. What does that all add up to? It adds up to habits. It adds up to routines. What are the things you're doing on a daily basis? And are they helping build momentum into that bright, bold, beautiful sky? Or are they causing you to be a fixed victim? Because poor me, my life sucks and I'm a loosey-goosey. So we don't want that. So how are we going to do it? Let's start off with one of the most important habits, your morning routine. What are you doing every single morning to boost that momentum, to feel good, and to springboard off into the day? Let's go through mine. You might like it, you might not. You may want to take little pieces, customize it to yourself. That's the whole point, but I'll give you mine and hopefully it'll help you. So I wake up. I no longer am a frasky little teenager. I can't just springboard out of bed like I used to. So it takes me a little while. I used to, for a while, look at social media, as do I'm sure most people, or the news feed, which is filled with hatred and just clickbait and things that sensationalism. They're trying to get our attention because they know we'll watch, but makes us feel just not good inside. And a lot of times, you know, makes us feel bad about ourselves, the world, what's going on, and that's not a good way to start. So I've actually switched to this app. It's called Flipboard, and Flipboard has specific topics that you can pick to make sure that that's all that you see. So I look at stuff like entrepreneurism. I look at mindset. I look at health, well-being, physical health. I also look at some entertainment stuff because I like movies and I like video games and these types of things. So everybody's different. You're going to have your own customizable topics, but make sure they're ones that you know are going to help you do this. First, do this. Next step, I slowly drag myself out of bed because I haven't had my coffee yet. Believe it or not, I never used to drink coffee up until about 7-8 years ago. But once I started, there was no going back. I know there's, you know, from health perspectives, maybe there's some things people say you shouldn't drink coffee, but for me, it's part of my routine, and I don't think it's such a bad thing. It gets me going, it gets my heart rate going, it gets my mind going, and so I look forward to it. I've habit stacked it with another thing that I used to do, which was my morning protein shake, which has vitamins, minerals, it's got vegetables, it's got raw spinach in it, it's got banana in it, it's got the protein, and I actually put my coffee in that. I blend it all together. Some of you are gonna think that's kind of gross, but trust me, don't knock until you try it. It may taste a little funky at first, but like anything else, you get used to it, and then it's like, wow, this is good. And so I do that, and as I'm drinking my shake, I actually review my to-dos for the day, which are based off of what my previous night routine, which I won't go into, but part of it involves me reviewing what I did for the day, what I was able to get accomplished, reminding myself of the big picture and what are the most important things I need to do the next day. So what I try to do in that period while I'm drinking my coffee shake is go through the little to-dos that aren't necessarily things that I know I should be productively using with the most productive part of my brain, which I'm about to enter into. And I just need to kind of get out of the way, little responses to emails, little to-dos, little things like that. And I try to get those, as many of those out of the way as possible. Then I head upstairs and I get into the shower. And this is another habit stacking opportunity for me where I both stretch because as many of you know, I tore my Achilles and ruptured my Achilles and tore my meniscus about a year ago. And I have to do certain stretches to make sure that I don't regress and to make sure that it's still continuing to bend and I'm still getting motion back. And I habit stack that with my mantra. My mantra is a huge, huge, huge part of my morning routine. And it's basically something that I've formulated over the years, step by step, little by little. So, you know, don't feel like you're going to go out and just write a mantra and it's going to be all that in a bag of chips and then you're never going to change it. It's basically customized to you. I'm happy to share mine with you. Feel free to write in the comments and I'll share it with you if you like to kind of get a basis off. But essentially, these are the things that are most important to you that you want to remind yourself of. I have each one of my 5 cores addressed in there. You know, I want to make sure that I'm being physical. I want to make sure that I'm fostering my relationships. I want to make sure that my mindset is healthy and I'm growing and I'm thinking in the right framework. I want to make sure that my career in finances is firing on all cylinders. And I'm doing all of these things and reminding myself on this daily basis of this list that I've written down that I've now memorized, and I'm literally thinking about the day before, how I was able to utilize it, and how I'm also gonna be able to utilize it today. And if I didn't do it the day before, I say, okay, why didn't I? What happened? Why was I able to? And I can kind of make those adjustments. Meanwhile, I'm stretching, I'm not even thinking about it. So what used to be a real pain in the butt for me, which I hated when I first started stretching, has now just become an automatic thing that I'm doing as I'm saying my mantra to myself. And you're gonna also wanna customize your mantra with specific things for you that you're working on. So for instance, anger has always been something that runs through our family. My grandfather was a general, and it got passed on to my mom. I started to get it when I was younger, and I knew I did not want to pass it on to my kids. I said, I'm nipping this one in the bud. So I every day work on my emotional intelligence is a big part of that. Being aware of and in control of my own emotions, as well as aware of and acting appropriately to the emotions of others. So rather than just react and double my fist when somebody does something I don't like, I take a deep breath, I take a look at the situation, I say, okay, what is the goal here that I'm trying to accomplish? How can I get there? And how can I play a game here and get this person to be on my side versus just go like this? I learned the hard way how that ends, and it doesn't end well. In fact, if you look closely, I no longer have 2 knuckles on one of my fists. I was a fighter when I was younger. So then I get out of the shower. I then tell Alexa to play my favorite music. That gets me going. That gets my human spirit rolling. I'm playing the favorite music, the things that I love. Sometimes she'll sneak in a song that my wife will request because we share the same Alexa. We do share a lot of the same songs, but not all of it. But I won't mention what type of music she doesn't like. I don't want to alienate people. Country. Some country I like, but not all of it. So anyways, get that going, gets my heart all feeling good and feeling my joy, and I start kind of moving and shaking. Then I'm putting on my moisturizer, right? I'm doing I'm brushing my teeth, I'm flossing, I'm doing all these things that I know are good for me and I need to do, but I'm listening to music at the same time. So it's fun and I'm enjoying it, and I'm starting to feel, the coffee's kicking in. I just said my mantra, and so I'm ready to go. By the time I get done with that, and then I go to the closet, I put my clothes on, I go to sit down on my computer. That's a whole nother step of my morning routine. This video's gotten long enough, so I won't go into it, but it's unbelievable how that can start your day on the right foot. And just by getting into that habit, that routine, and having a morning routine that's helping you versus hurting you can make a humongous difference in your life. Because again, it's those little actions that build up over time, and you just start doing them, and before you know it, that morning routine starts to compound on itself and helps you become that person that you want to be. So your action item for the week: what is your morning routine? Is it helping or hurting you? What is the one small thing that you can do to adjust it to make sure that you're moving in a positive direction? Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Full Friday. I love you.